Buckmore Park in Kent is the venue for the final round of the Easykart UK 2015 season. But as one season closes in motorsport, another will shortly open. And earlier, Martin caught up with Andy Cox and John Vigor to ask about the Easykart plans for 2016.
Andy, successful year so far. Tell us about your plans going forward 2016.
Okay, so for 2016, we're going to have 8 rounds again. I'm delighted to say that my old pal here, JV, we've been together for 9?
Since 2006, I think, Andy.
2006 when we started the championship. And I'm delighted to say that John and I have agreed a new deal for the next, multi-year deal moving forward, which is great for us and great for the competitors and great for the series. So I'm really happy about that.
And sort of what changes can they look out for next year?
Everything much is the same. The only thing that's going to be slightly different is, we're going to run like an Easykart central hub office rather than having 2 offices that deal with inquiries about the championship and also about the karts, just to simplify everything. So that, we're going to be taking over some of the admin roles, and Club 100, obviously John is going to run the events on the day. Obviously that's what John's brilliant at with his team, basically just trying to be more efficient. The drivers forget to order tyres, they forget to enter the races, so we're trying to put everything in one place so it's easier for people to understand and easier to get on the grid.
And John, coming to you, always successful these events for you, always well organised, so tell us a little bit about sort of what the organisation means.
The organisation means basically history, Martin. I've got a team that we've all grown older together, bolder together. We've all started families, our own families, everything like that. We're the guys that support me, should we say, the race management team from Club 100, we've been working together for up to 20 years now. So we all know each other's habits. We've all got our roles. We're multitasking all the time, and we can cover each other at any point. So I think that makes for a very good promotional team, should we say, an event management team.
Looking forward to next year's championship. Could you just describe to me the rules and the assessments of new drivers?
Oh yes, indeed. We're going to continue with the evaluation. That's something that's been really successful this year. Free of charge driver evaluation. We've had new drivers coming in, whether it be from indoor centres, little corporate outdoor centres, or even just moving up from Bambino, just from practising on their Bambino. The great thing is we've offered that service free of charge, and it's been really successful. We haven't failed anybody. We're not here to do that. We're out to get people racing. But indeed, where we assess them, if they're not quite ready, we'll tell them that with an arm round their back, if you like, on their shoulder, and say, come back, do a bit of practice and everything like that, and then we'll see if you're ready to race next time. And it's proved a great success this year, the evaluation. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And just coming back to Andy for the final question, just tell us a little bit about the NKA and your thoughts on that going forward.
Well, John is a member of the National Karting Association, obviously corporate outdoor and indoor, and we're going to have a new initiative, I think, moving forward, where we're going to offer some of the National Karting Association indoor tracks and companies a voucher scheme that they can use as prizes in some of their events in their cadet and junior clubs primarily. Hopefully that will give an opportunity for somebody that wants to progress into owning their own kart to come and try Easykart, have an evaluation, experience a kart without having to buy it, see what's involved, then maybe get a kart. Obviously come along on an event, get evaluated by John and start racing. Everybody has to understand that everybody starts in a go-kart indoor, and those tracks and companies play a really good role, giving people an experience maybe if they don't ever own their own kart, but also just when they're ready to move on, we'd like to try to forge a partnership with the NKA and their circuits moving forward. So that's what we've got coming up.
Sam and Georgie join me. Sam first. It's been a comfortable season for you in the junior class, but looking forward to the World Finals in which you finished 4th last year. Can you bring home the world title this time?
Well, hopefully. It's a lot different over there with they use different tyres, different engine. But if I came fourth last year, hopefully I can improve and hopefully win.
And what's the difference in the World Finals to the UK Championship? Is it harder? Is it any different?
The track's obviously much longer. There's different engine, different tyres. Obviously, quite a few more competitors. But overall, it's the same, really, isn't it? But
and Georgie, when I interviewed you at round 1, you were in confident mood. A tough competition this year for you. Looking difficult early season, but wins in all the heats and all the finals in round 6 and 7 have secured you the title in the end. So, who do you feel challenged you the most this year?
My personal opinion, main contenders or challengers were probably Tyrone Stansfield, George Evans, and maybe Harry Graham. They've always been up there with me throughout the championship. So yeah.
And for today's event, I know you've not really won the title yet, but today you've just got to turn up and just do one lap. Is that good enough for you?
Not really, because I want to win. But yes, but that's all I need to do. One lap and I've secured it. So.
You decided to go to the World Finals and race in the junior class this year. That's for the first time. And of course you'll be racing with Sam or against Sam. What are you expecting from yourself as a junior there and next year in the UK Championship?
Just to not come last, and obviously wherever I qualify or start, just move forward. And that's all you can do.
Moving forward next year?
Yeah, hopefully top 5 in a junior championship. So yeah.
So for the last time in 2015, let's go Easykart Cadet racing. Oliver Gray and George Evans on the front row with Tyrone Stansfield and Joe Sheppy on the second. Lillian Graham with Harvey and Humphreys, Georgie Anker and Ewan Johnson on row 5. Keep an eye charging through the field. We may see a couple of superb performances from the back as away we go to the first corner. Good start from Gray, cuts across nicely, moving up to second. Tyrone Stansfield trying to cut his way through, and following with him is Christian Lilly. So up to the inside, Lilly's through to second place now. Good overtaking move there and a great opportune move into the hairpin. So Oliver Gray, the leading rookie in the championship, he's leading the way here. Perfect start for him, and he's already got a little bit of breathing space between himself and second place Lilly. As the rest of the field charges through, looks as though everybody's okay on this first lap as they make their way through Syme Sweet into Pullmans and then up Damon Hill after Paddock into Garda. And look at the advantage Oliver Gray has got. Tomlinson making the move up the inside of Mackay. They both drift out wide, but Oliver Gray still out in front. And speaking of which, Martin caught up with Oliver a little earlier on today.
Oliver, you've had a really good season. You're top rookie this season so far. What's it like being in the same awning as Joe Patterson, the Easykart champion?
It gives me a lot of confidence for the next rounds and the different tracks we go to every year. So yeah.
And what's it like being part of Easykart in general?
It's very friendly. Everyone's friendly. Everyone comes and says what times they did in the previous session, and yeah, people just help everything. So and it helps for everyone if it is not in our awning. So yeah, it helps.
And what are your plans for next year?
Yeah, we probably are staying in Easykart, trying to win, but it's going to be close.
Well, he's certainly looking good for it at the moment for the 2016 Easykart Cadet Championship. Look at the absolute distance. That's a mile of distance between first and second place. Been watching in the last lap or so. The defensive work from fourth place man Joe Sheppy is absolutely incredible. He could have lost quite a few places with some good moves from some of his rivals on the last couple of corners, but he has been very strong, running very close to George Evans, the E-plate, and he's running very strong there in fourth position, just in front of Tyrone Stansfield, who of course at one point in this race was running second, so fair play to him there. At the moment it's still Oliver Gray out front, second place Christian Lilly, then it's George Evans in the E-plate, just about giving enough space to the 58 of Joe Sheppy to get through Garda without incident, but there was not much in it at all. Just keeping an eye on the number 2, Georgie Anker, trying to move his way up through the field. He doesn't need to worry, of course, he's already sewn up the championship, so as far as he's concerned it's just a nice end of term play, but he's still fighting. He's a racing driver. So George Evans hassling the 50, Christian Lilly into the first hairpin through the right, into the second through the left. He's not quite close enough to challenge for that second position yet. That's Ewan Johnson trying to close in on the 30 just in front of him. That is Freddie Bates trying to move his way up, and he's done a great job actually. 15th on the starting grid, working his way up. Now we've got Christian Lilly stepping up his defence. I think he's realised Oliver Gray has gone into the distance. As up the inside comes George Evans. zooms to the inside, but again, great defence from Lilly, and through past both of them. Joe Sheppy's going to go for the inside line, and I think he's just about made that stick as Oliver Gray looks over his shoulder. He's got an absolute country mile to the men behind him in second place. This is a one-man wrecking ball of a show out front. And the leading rookie in the championship, this is an absolute perfect setup for the 2016 campaign. He will be learning so much out there in the lead, just enjoying himself more than anything else, and that is the advantage. Look back, there is the battle for second place, and it's anybody's guess. There's about 8 or 9 carts there scrapping over second position, as again it pretty much ends up a stalemate because Sheppy has not been able to get the job done on George Evans, who in turn has had the door firmly closed on him by Christian Lilly as the 9 dives through. Harry Graham tries to make the move on the 4 of Tyrone Stansfield. It worked initially, but then he just drifted out slightly wide at Garda, and that has allowed Stansfield to get back through. But he has managed to get the move done now as the 2, once again, Georgie Anker closing up on Thomas Harvey there. Up to the first hairpin, just a little bit of a love tap there from George Evans on the back of second place 50 Christian Lilly. Georgie Anker secured the championship after just 1 lap of this race, so brilliant work there for Georgie Anker. It was pretty much guaranteed and done and dusted, so all he had to do was start, and he has made sure it's all his for 2015. But the man out front, Oliver Gray, very much the favourite going into 2016 with this kind of performance. That's Freddie Bates, makes the move on Anker. Can he get the door shut? Oh, Anker looks very strong to the outside line, but no, he just about shuts the door, although Anker's still there or thereabouts. He's still pushing it hard, and right on his tail is Ewan Johnson, so it's not quite sorted out for Bates yet. Now we've got a great battle stepping up for second places. Through to second has come the E-plate. Evans has got through. Joe Sheppy now up to third. So Lilly is down to 4th position. We didn't quite see where that happened, but Lilly is now down into 4th position, trying his best to take on the pressure of Tyrone Stansfield, who is now swarming all over the back of the 9 of Harry Graham, right on his tail. So there is a great little scrap as again George Evans slices across to stop the 58 of Joe Sheppy coming through at Garda. He's so strong in the braking zone for the right-hander there. He knows exactly where to place the kart. He is absolutely impervious. Now again, he's on the defensive line. He knows that Oliver Gray is too far out in front to close up, and he's not going to get cooperation at this point. He needs to hang on to that second position as far as he's concerned. Tyrone Stansfield, second in the championship, currently tucked up behind Graham still in 6th position. Graham just ahead of him, trying to close up on Lilly. Evans so strong on the defence. Joe Sheppy desperately trying to find a way past. He's not going to make that happen, is he? He's all over the places. We've just lost a kart making their way into the pits to retire by the look of it. Couldn't quite see who that was from there. Evans, Sheppy, 4th place, still Lilly, just in front of Graham and Stansfield. And still the battle just at the tail of this train. Georgie Anker and Ewan Johnson is at a stalemate at the moment. Evans, look, he's looking behind him. Which way is he coming? Is he going left? Is he going right? And he has to position himself in the middle of the circuit to minimise the damage. And Lilly throws it up the inside of the right-hander. Nicely done to move up into 3rd place. Graham is trying to go with him, but he wasn't quite close enough to make that work. And Johnson has now managed to get past Georgie Anker, who is, of course, now confirmed as the 2015 Easykart Cadet champion. So he's just out there having a play now. This is no longer a pressure cooker of an environment for him. He's just enjoying the racing now. Although he probably won't be happy at the fact that he's at the back of the field. Back of this little train anyway. So still, second position up for grabs. Still the E-plate, George Evans hanging on by a thread. There's Oliver Gray, forget about him. He's in a different postcode at the moment. Down the inside, Sheppy tries for Lilly. Lilly goes for Evans. And I think we're just going to see him make up into second position. Oliver Gray still stretching the advantage out in front, but look back, who is now in second position? Is it Evans or is it Lilly? They're still debating it, and they're almost touching wheels as they come through. Lilly has got himself straight back in his second place. Beautifully done there from the 50, and now George Evans has got to step up on the attack. He's been very strong on the defence today, but now he needs to raise his A-game once again. Up the inside. Textbook, he positions it nicely, but he's still got Lilly on the inside line. They're going to go 3 wide. Sheppy's going to get both of them. Yes, he does! Superb overtaking there from Sheppy. He saw them squabbling for position. He realised they were getting too close to the apex, and he just zipped up on the inside through centre and makes the move stick. Lovely jubbly from Sheppy into second place. And look, the floodgates have opened. Everybody is now gung-hoing for it. Sheppy in second, up to third goes Lilly, drifts wide, through comes through comes Evans again. Anchor is trying to make up places as well towards the tail end. Graham still hanging on in front of Stansfield for 5th position. And in the battle for 7th place, there are now 4 men, all scrapping away for it. And now look at that little momentum from Sheppy has given him a tiny bit of breathing space. In the last round of the championship, cooperation is not really going to be on the mind of anybody, so I think he might just have done enough there to grab 2nd position in this race. He's got a little bit of daylight there. He may not have it sewn up completely, especially if these 3 or 4 carts decide to work together. But Evans is hanging on to that 3rd place in front of Lilly. 5th place Graham, 6th place Stansfield. That makes all the difference, that little gap. And Lilly has gone for Evans. They're still side by side. Lilly holds it round the outside, tucks in for the inside line of the next right-hander, and he's going to get this job done. Yes, he does. And Evans is now under serious threat from Graham. It's going to be close as to whether he can keep that gap. Yes, look, he's got through, and he signals behind, help me, but Graham is not listening. He dives for the inside at Garda, gets the door shut through centre, and now it's anybody's guess. Stansfield swarming over the back of him as well now. As they come across the line, 2nd looks sorted, 3rd is debatable. Sheppy 2nd, Lilly 3rd, 4th place Evans, and it looks as if it's all going to start kicking off behind. Yes, indeed, this 7th place battle is really stepping up again now. Johnson making the move on Harvey and throwing it up the inside. Freddie Bates makes the move there on Anchor. Very nicely done into 9th position then from Bates. As he moves up to P9, Johnson is not done in the battle with Thomas Harvey. He wants to get that 7th place back off him. But it's getting a bit frustrating for Evans. He's trying to signal to the chaps behind him, come on, we need to work together to move further forward. This is the last round of a championship though, George. Trying to get somebody to help you is a bit like trying to get a 9-year-old to give you his sweets. He's not going to do it. So through the final turn, 4 to go in the Cadet A final, and this is going to be a close battle to the finish line here. Evans still hanging on for that 4th position, but trying to get closer to the 50 of Lilly. If you can't win, you still want to come home with some silverware, so 3rd position would be a nice way to end the season, but he's under pressure. Graham is trying to come at him now, and he's taking Tyrone Stansfield with him in his wake. And having got through into 7th place now, Thomas Harvey is trying to drop the 3 men behind him and step up for a top 6 finish here. So 3rd position still very much on the table here for these guys, and Freddie Bates has joined the battle as well a little bit. In fact, Paul number 2, Georgie Anchor, yes, he sealed the championship, but it's almost as if he's dropping anchor at the back there. He seems to be falling away from the train. Not that he'll mind once he gets out of the cart. But here is the man in 2nd place. Really impressive work from Sheppy to put himself into 2nd place and then just leave them behind. But look, these guys are working together. They have closed the gap down to the 50 of Lilly, who is now having to defend. So we are still going to have a very close run for 3rd place. Shoves him to the barrier, almost puts him on the curb there. That was so tight. Lilly giving him just enough room to be safe, but not enough room to be comfortable. That was a very tight defensive line there, and Evans was very, very fortunate to have the control and the tenacity to stay out of trouble and continue in the battle. This is a brilliant scrap for 3rd place. Sheppy is gone, 2 to go, and 7 carts scrapping over the 3rd step on the podium. And all of them have just as much right to be there. They've been absolutely incredible in this race. And now it looks to me as though Freddie Bates at the back of the queue is starting to step it up. Yes, he makes the move on Ewan Johnson. So it's now or never for the guys out there. If you want to stand on the podium one more time in 2015, or for some of these guys it would of course be the first, it's now or never. You've got to do it now. So into Pullman's. Through to the right-hander at Paddock. Look at the massive advantage Oliver Gray has got going into the last lap. This is easily the biggest lead I have ever seen from a cadet driver in the entirety of my karting commentary career. It's absolutely massive. Now, of course, he has gone very well here. There's the fastest lap to prove it, 45.7. But it's this battling gang of karts behind that's really held things up as we watch Christopher Mackay still scrapping out with Freddie Tomlinson. They've been at that all race long. But Gray, on his final lap, is way out in front. This is a dominant display from the youngster who is already setting his sights on the 2016 championship. Full credit to Joe Sheppy. He managed to break away as well in second place. But what a way to end the season for Oliver Gray. Pole position, fastest lap, and race win. That's what every racing driver wants to hear in quick succession. He takes the checkered flag at Buckmore Park. Fantastic result, brilliant job, and an absolutely monumental victory. That's a warning shot to everybody for 2016. Sheppy is happy with second place. That might as well be a win. And Evans has just pipped Lilly to third place over the line. He's worked so hard in this race to get that third place, and he's managed it. Lilly in fourth place from Graham and Stansfield, with Harvey seventh. Freddie Bates, the second rookie in the table, in eighth place. Ewan Johnson is ninth, and the new champion, Georgie Anker, settles for a very comfortable 10th position.
Wow, what have you put into your fuel tank today?
I don't know.
You don't know, okay. Well, I'm sure it's all legal fuel, but you was amazing today. Do you know Buckmore Park well? Have you raced here before?
Yeah, I've been racing here since I started karting, so.
Right, so this is your local track?
Yeah.
Excellent, so you know this circuit very well. Okay, well, it certainly showed there today, Oliver. You absolutely dominated it, fantastic. Did the kart feel any better, or was it purely that you knew the track?
The kart felt much better than from Glanny and Wilton Mill.
Fantastic, so not only have you had improvements on the kart, you knowing this circuit, it gave you an extra advantage. Okay, did you want to thank anybody here today for the season?
Thank my dad, my mum, and John Rees.
What a race, what an end to the season. He rounds out the top 5. Harry Graham's still there in P4, of course. But it was these two, Tyrone Stansfield in third position and second place man George Evans, who couldn't quite overhaul Georgie Anker in 2015. We're back in part 2 for the juniors.